SuccessFactors.com.
On this show, we talk every week about professionals. We talk about great stories of success, entrepreneurship. One of the people that we talk to frequently is Chris Everett of Everett Wealth Solutions and Everett College Funding. And Chris, you are involved in helping young adults prepare to become professionals. First of all, welcome back to Get Down to Business.
Thank you so much.
So you are co-creator of a program, College Readiness for Success. Tell us a little bit about that collaboration.
Right. Well, for years, I've been helping parents pay reduced price for college whenever that was possible, and we help their students go in the correct direction career-wise before even selecting majors or colleges. But this year, what we discovered is that there's an underserved market if your students happen to have a difference that could be categorized as a learning difference or an attention, social, or emotional difference. And when you have those differences, it can be difficult to transition to college. And so, with the help of Karen Grimes, who's a local social worker, we are engaging to really help this market prepare and transition to college. So we have created College Readiness for Success specifically for students who have learning, attention, social, and emotional differences. But we're not just targeting parents of these students. We have created a program that offers CEU credits and hopefully CPDUs. So educators, mental health professionals, counselors, teachers can come learn more about how to support these students and parents and also get credit for it.
And so you're not just focusing on the financial side of it, which I know you are quite the guru and quite the expert. You're talking about things like stress triggers and how to prepare for the whole college experience.
Exactly. It's one thing to get the money piece right, and we've got all that in a bag of chips. We know how to reduce the cost whenever possible. But it's understanding all of those triggers that really cause stress, whether or not you have these issues, right? Because everyone can trigger stress. But if you know how you're hardwired, if you know the skill sets that are really best suited for a particular career path or a subset of career paths, it just makes the whole decision process easier. It helps your student to show up on a campus aligned for what they're to be about versus, oh, honey, just go show up on the campus and figure it out when you get there. Well, honey, let me tell you, that is very expensive.
And a little culture shock might take place.
Well, hello, and it's emotionally exhausting and expensive for the student to not know really where they fit. So we just decided that this is an underserved market, and why not help these kids? So actually, we're going to be talking to several schools in the area, helping them to understand that we know how to help parents and educators and clinicians get more skill in this area. So we're actually even bringing in Teresa Maitland. I don't know if you've ever heard of Teresa Maitland, but she's an author 3 times over and almost 4 times now. She works at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and we're bringing her in. She's written this great book called On Track for College, Readiness for Success, and she's special. So when you consider that we're bringing in the financial piece as well as the piece that can help parents, clinicians, and educators understand how to better serve this marketplace, we think it makes for some exciting news. So on April the 25th, we actually have a conference scheduled. It's going to be in the Oak Park area. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can go to College Readiness for Success. Make sure that you plug in the number 4. So it's College Readiness, number 4, success.com.
College Readiness for Success. It sounds fantastic. What about the time management piece? That's something that I'm always fascinated by. A high school student, they're in their building, and obviously they have a class schedule. But for the most part, they're a lot more disciplined, or they are a lot more. They have to be a lot more disciplined to get from point A to point B. It's not as challenging. You go to college, and suddenly there's the distractions, there's the social life. I can only imagine for folks that we're talking about going to college, planning their schedule, planning their day, their week, their month, and they're ultimately decisions that are affecting their lives. It's got to be challenging. Are you touching on that at College Readiness for Success?
You betcha. You know, high school is not college. Let's just start right there. And so while high school, can be difficult, if your student actually has tools to help them stay focused and on target and can take it in small chunks step by step, we think that can produce some success in this area. We know it can. And so we have tools for that. We have books for that, computer programs that can support that. There's just many, many tools. But I think for me, when I'm working right now with a couple who have twins with Asperger's, and their biggest heartbreak and concern are, can my kids make it? Not only from high school through college, but can they make it in life? And so we're saying, yes, yes, they can, and let's help you get the right tools so that as a parent, you know how to perform in this area at your highest level, but that you can really help the kids stand on a strong platform as they move forward in life.
Chris, I think the only piece that you're missing over here is the emotional support for parents that send their kids away to college. They're going to be lonely. Do you have any recommendations for them?
I had a client, we actually do have parent-student meetings, and so I had one on Monday. And what a wonderful, delightful experience to help mom and dad recognize and talk in the room with their student about the emotional distancing that must take place, as well as just the physical distancing. But then to have the student hear mom and dad express that, and then, if the student can say, yeah, I wish they would just let me go. Of course, they say that all the time. But when they understand that mom and dad are going through this challenge as well as they, and we can talk through what that really means and what can we put in place so that everyone's respected, because you have to still live inside of a culture of honor with each other, right? After all, at the end of the day, it's mom and dad that are putting down a sizable amount of money to help you succeed as an adult. So we want to maintain that respect, but still acknowledge that we have an emerging adult here.
So we're talking with Chris Everett of Everett College Funding. It sounds like, Chris, the approach that you're taking is that there are partners in the college experience, that one of the partners and only one piece of the puzzle is the student, but the other piece is the parents. And you have to accomplish both objectives, deal with both partners in this endeavor, in this business venture, which is college.
You better believe it. And when you're dealing with parents who have additional challenges of students with emotional learning attention differences, then it's just a heightened level of stress. And so, yes, it's mom and dad and the student, but it's also the counselors at the high school. It's perhaps independent social workers and other clinicians that help to support in this area. So it's really, if we could say it takes a village, it actually
it really does take a village. That's great. So College Readiness for Success, the website is College Readiness, 4success.com. And people can call your office to learn more about the program in the Western Burbs?
They can, 708-771-7777.
So where is the convention taking place? Where is the conference being held?
It's going to be at Greater Chicago West in Oak Park, Illinois. So if you go on the website, you can register and you can see it there.
And that's taking place in April.
Yes, it is, April 25th. It's on a Saturday from 8:30 in the morning until noon. We have packed this event with so much information. So whether you're a parent looking for tools, an educator, a mental health professional, if you're working with teens that have learning, attention, social, and emotional differences, and you want to help them transition to college, this is the conference for you.
Amazing. So exciting, April 25th. Chris Everett, thank you so much for the helpful advice. Once again, your phone number if people have questions about the college planning, college funding, and wealth management questions and scenarios.
Yes, sir. It's 708-771-7777.
Chris is a wealth of information. We always appreciate your time. Call Chris at 708-771-7777. Chris, we'll have you back on to talk about college readiness for success and hear all the stories of success that you're so good at. So thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. That phone number, once again, is 630-928-0510. At the end of the show, I'm going to be sharing tips on how you can and should incorporate your business, protect yourself, do it right. And of course, I always have a networking tip for you, so don't miss that. That's at the end of the show. Keep listening. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business.
When the Prime Minister